Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today has been a very long day, and I'm trying to get a whole handle on finishing up my packing. And as I look around my apartment and see boxes, I really don't have a lot of boxes. Um, as I stated in previous videos, I would consider myself a minimalist. I still have more stuff than I would like to have, but I don't. I think probably compared to the average person, I probably don't have much stuff. But the boxes that I do have, I'm looking and it's like a couple of them I have sealed up, but the majority of them, they aren't sealed up. But they have stuff in them, but I just haven't sealed them up yet. Because earlier in the week when I started packing, I was putting stuff in boxes and sealing them up. But as the week has progressed through, I've been reopening the boxes to get stuff that I didn't realize I would need, and or to put more things in the box. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to keep doing this. So I've decided to just leave the boxes unsealed until the day that I'm actually moving, and then I'll go ahead and throw the last couple of things in there and seal them up because I keep closing the box and reopening the box. And so I don't want to keep doing that. So um, as I think about the reason why I'm moving, so usually I get kind of the urge to move around, because just to go, just to experience a different area and live in a different area. That usually occurs for me like every 2 to 3 years. I would say probably on average every maybe 3 years or so, where I'm like, kind of feel like I'm ready to do something different or see something different. And this time around, it's still about the same. It's crazy because it's still about the same amount of time in which this move is occurring. So I'm at about a little over 2.5 years being in this area. But just thinking about what's really motivating this move this time is the fact that the life that I was building here in this area, um, I'm in the DMV area, it's associated with, higher income, paying jobs, and it's associated with like government related work, whether directly or, government adjacent. And, you know, um, very, very metropolitan area, very nice places to go out to and eat. This area is pretty much, those are like the things that is, pretty much known for. I would say that's a fair statement. And I realized that even though that life is great, some people love it, you know, and I love that for them. But what I realize is that I really am not aligned with, trying to build up a lifestyle surrounding those ideals. And it's very hard to avoid in this area. For me, in my opinion, it seems very hard to avoid that kind of a lifestyle. Like especially if you're, highly, if you're educated and, you know what I mean, you're working, do professional work, you know what I mean, especially if you like work in tech and all of that stuff. You're super ambitious. You want to go after things. It's very hard not to fall into that trap. In my opinion, in this area, like you gotta make sure you stay on the grind. You know what I mean to keep up. And I'm not talking about like keeping up with the Joneses, even though that's a thing in and of itself. But maybe I am. Maybe I am talking about keeping up with the Joneses to a certain extent. I would say, but I just realized that yeah, I'm not feeling it. And I know most people would be like, "Girl, you giving up that job? You know what I mean? Everything is good, well, but it's draining. I am tired, y'all. Mentally drained. So yeah, what's sparking this move is more so me going after a lifestyle that is more aligned with what I want. And right now, the three things that I want is more control over my time, more control over where I live, and of course, um, attaining financial freedom, financial independence. So those are the three things um, that I want to really hone in on. I've been for the last several years really focused more so on the financial freedom part while neglecting the location and the time freedom. And I think because all of those things are really out of whack, like that's how I'm in the not I want to say predicament, but that's how I find myself in this arena of my life, this area of my life. And um so getting back to the boxes, as I like I said, as I'm taping up some of the boxes and reopening some of the boxes, I'm pretty sure I can say that boxing up this lifestyle, this career, that I began to try to lean in. I tried to lean into it, and when I leaned into it, I it wore me down. Going after all the things, right? All of the going after the degrees, going after the certifications and working full time, you know, constantly, you know, working the brain out, right? Um, Wore me out, trying to make sure that I stay at a level where, that my belief, you know, makes me feel, worthy of the lifestyle that I can lead in this type of area. And not saying I don't feel like I'm worthy, but like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you feel like you gotta have these things, especially, being a woman in an industry, being a woman of color in a very male dominated industry and stuff, you gotta make sure you go after all of the things, right? To make sure that you at a level, that you can't be denied, right? So, and that has wore me out, y'all. So I am now focused on going after those things, and for me, taking a step back to reset and outline a path is the main focus for me, for myself going forward. So one thing that I definitely decided that I'm going to box up, and once I put the tape on it, which will be tomorrow, that I'm going to leave is this lifestyle and this particular career path that I'm on, and I'm going to leave that box here because I don't want that. I don't want to take that with me. So I just wanted to get on here and reflect on the things that I'm thinking about as I prepare for a move. So that is what I wanted to speak on today, and I will leave you with this. If you out there are experiencing, I don't want to say experiencing, but if there's a part of your life that you are wanting to box up and put the tape on and leave where it's at so that you can move on, you can go ahead and hit the like button on this video. And I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.